Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. In this episode, we're going to have a new guest again. And I heard him on my buddy Jordan's podcast like a week or so ago. And dude, he had a hard-hitting story. And this is going to be one of those episodes that is going to be a little bit more geared towards something different than what we've talked about in the past. I've wanted to talk about this for a long time, and I've kind of just been waiting for the perfect person to come on where we can really discuss this. It will have some hunting stuff in it. However, this episode is not going to be fully centered around hunting. This episode's actually going to be with Dustin Cole. A lot of you probably don't recognize the name. That's perfectly fine. Dustin is a great dude who has a great story, and this episode's going to be about men's mental health, which I don't know about you guys. I struggle with it. I think a lot of us do, and we just, might be a little too prideful to admit it. And I've really wanted to talk about this for a long, long time because I struggle every single day. Even with my faith in Christ, I still have days that it's like, dude, the whole weight of the world's on my shoulders, and there's things in my past that rear their ugly heads every now and then. And I think it's good to talk about this stuff, right? So it's going to be a great episode. We may get emotional. I kind of expect it. But before we get into it with Dustin, we're going to run through these partners real quick. So this podcast is brought to you by Sportsman's Empire. That is a podcast network that hosts my show and a bunch of other really great shows. So please go check them out. Next up is Osseo Gear. You can see behind me, I've got my new bow in full Osseo camo. It is honestly the sickest looking bow I have ever. Love it. Really hope this camera or this mo doesn't fall on me again. Anyway, I absolutely love Osseo gear. It is by far my favorite camo that I've ever used, and I think a lot of us, especially down here in the South, would really benefit from using it. So if you want to check it out, use the code down below. I have everything linked code-wise and website-wise down in the description. So for all these partners, if you want to go support them, there's your I guess your link to it. So if you want to save a little bit of money, go use that code at Osseo Gear, and get you some new stuff. Let's see. Next up is the boutique. I just got another set of Jesus wraps from Mike. So I basically decided to do a tack build and also a hunting season build. So it's gonna be two completely different builds. One's gonna be a lot lighter than the other. Well, I shouldn't say a lot lighter. One's gonna be a little bit lighter than the other. And I wanted to do that because I love both the wraps that I got, but the second set is for me just more stylish. It's got more artistic stuff in it, and I really, really like that. And it has Jesus on it, and there's scripture. Like there's a whole thing. So I'm gonna do a video on that here soon. You guys saw the promo that I dropped of the new bow, hopefully. If you didn't, go to the TikTok, Instagram, I think YouTube also. I maybe didn't do it on YouTube. But anyway, yeah, Mike makes the best arrow wraps on the market, so please go support him. Next up is G5 Outdoors. Told you guys a million times. They dropped the new Dirty Bird Broadhead. That is for turkey season. By the time this drops, this is going to be the week leading up to turkey season, which turkey season actually falls on my birthday, so that's kind of cool. Or I should say opener, but I will be using the new Dirty Bird. I have to go get some, but that is kind of the plan, is to get the Dirty Bird and just sort of, throw some stuff together, test everything out, sight the bow in because I'm going to sight it in this Saturday, and just get ready for season. In worst case scenario, I'll throw a Mega Mita one. So please go support G5. For you deer hunters that don't turkey hunt, they've got the Mega Meat, the Dead Meat V2, the T2, all their fixed blade options, like the Montec. G5 has you covered. Next up, speaking of bows, Prime Archery. So my Prime Divide, I've been shooting it every single day. I got it fully rigged up. It's literally the best bow I've ever shot. Super smooth draw, super stable. It's fast, at least by my standards. It's going to get the job done. And on a 31-inch platform, how stable it is, it's insane. So if you guys are in the market for a new bow, please check out the new Prime Divide. Comes in 8 different models, ranging from 31 ATA all the way to 37, and 6-inch and 7-inch brace height. And they have tons of camo. So head to your local bow shop, go check one out. Remember, nothing aims like a Prime. Next up, Dialed Archery. So the cat's out of the bag. Nothing's official yet. With really any, actually, I'm not even going to say anything like that. All I'm going to say is my new Dialed Proof is absolutely amazing. You guys, if you saw the video, you saw the one that I got. I think it looks so sick on this bow. It goes so well with it. You can see it in the video if you're watching, but it's not that great a quality. Oh my Lord. Um, but yeah, dude, the Dial Proof is absolutely the best sight that I have personally ever used. If you're not a mover sight kind of guy or roller sight kind of guy, they also make the Strike, which is a fixed pin sight. Looks exactly like the Proof. It just doesn't move except for the pins. So you can have your set pins and then you're ready to go. So Dialed is absolutely killing it. Keep an eye out for the new small batches that are coming. And dude, I absolutely love these sites. So please go support them. Next up, Moultrie. Let's see. Time of recording this, I'll be putting new batteries in a camera that died on me at one of my spots tomorrow. So hopefully, I'll be getting pictures of deer shedding their antlers. I've seen a couple bucks. One of which was this deer I called Maleficent, which was a big wide 8. Or was he an 8 or a 7? I think he was an 8. I can't remember. Anyway, his rack is completely busted up. It's been busted up for a few months now, and he's still holding, as far as I know. So. Really waiting on him to drop, man. I went shed hunting today. Didn't really see anything. But it's been kind of slow here lately. So I don't know, but the Moultrie cameras are definitely really working perfect. Like high quality photos, just everything is working as it should. So if you guys are looking at getting some new cameras for this off season, I highly recommend the Edge 3, the Edge 3 Pro, or the Edge Solar. Those are the new cameras that Mulcher came out with. I know they're coming out with some newer stuff later this summer. I don't know too much yet, but it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool. So please go support Moultrie. I would be eternally grateful. Let's see. Next up, bow hunting league. So the shirts are out. Ben sent an email. All you had to do is click the link and I think put in your name, and you will get a shirt if you killed a buck. They are going to have the state sponsors on there. So if you Georgia boys, you're going to have the podcast on there. So definitely wear the shirt as much as you can to help your boy out. But yeah, the bow hunting league, man, has been a huge thing in the bow hunting community. They've changed a lot of things for all of us, and I'm very thankful to be working with them. If you want to be a state sponsor, get all the perks that I do. Go over to the website listed in the description, click on it, head to the state sponsor thing, tell them we sent you, especially if you're in Georgia. Definitely tell them if we sent you if you're in Georgia. And it's only $100 a year, so it's really not a bank breaker. Let's see. Next up, boning archery, running the alpha veins again. Um, I like the alphas because they're super quiet and they stabilize very quickly. You'll see it. You'll see that, I guess, vein or build or whatever in the video I make of my arrows. So be on the lookout for that. Next up is going to be Scrape Doctor. Probably give it another month before I start making some community scrapes, start laying some scent down. I'm waiting for this cold front stuff to go away so we can start warming up and these deer can actually start acting like it's spring. Georgia doesn't know what it wants to do apparently, so gotta love that. But Scrape Doctor, always a great product. James is a great guy, so please go support him. Victory Archery. I'm said it before, running the HLRs. They've got a bunch of different new models that have come out. So if you want to go support Victory, they have you covered in every single size that you need. To me, they're the most structurally sound, most forgiving, and most well-built arrows that are on the market. So please go support those guys. Let's see. Next up, Catalyst Archery. So Catalyst Archery, for those of you who don't know, or maybe skip this all the time and you're just landing on this, I don't know. That is a stabilizer company that we just started working with a few months back, and they are they're really high quality stabilizers for a really good price. Brian actually sent me his little side. It's like I forget what he called it, but it's like a side plate quiver. It only holds 2 arrows, but it connects directly to your bow, either to your bow or it connects to your sight, where you would put your normal quiver. And he basically made that for the yard shooter, the guy that only wants to shoot a couple arrows in the yard, and like you don't want to be going and pulling 5, 6 arrows at a time. Um, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna put it on my form, for when I just feel like shooting a bow and I don't really want to run cycles, or maybe I'd want to compare, maybe I do a comparison video between the form and the divide. I'll be able to do that. So please go support Catalyst Archery. And last but not least is Unbound Archery, which if you're watching the video, you might be able to see the strings that I put on the divide. If not, go watch the video, like I said earlier, on TikTok or Instagram, or I believe YouTube. You will get to see Nick's handiwork. And dude, let me tell you, best strings ever. I absolutely love what Unbound does. So if you need new strings, go to Unbound Archery. Let's see. That's all the partners. I know that in this episode we are going to talk about the Lord, but for those of you that don't know Jesus, let me just tell you, I I owe everything to him. And the place that I was in before I gave my life to Christ and where I'm at now, don't get me wrong, there's still daily struggles. I talk about it all the time on here. The old me really likes to try and rear his ugly head a lot. And sometimes, you give in and sometimes you don't. And a lot of times you don't. Um, but because of Christ, because of what he did on the cross, I know that there's hope, there's salvation. And the love that I have felt from giving my life over to Jesus is immeasurable. It really is. Um, and I'm not saying that everything's going to be, sunshine and rainbows because it's not. It's really not. I'm sure we're going to talk about it in this episode. It's when you give your life to him, the the opposing side, the world doesn't like that because you start to change. You change things like maybe you don't drink as much, maybe you don't visit certain websites as much, maybe you view things a little bit different, right? And all that does is piss off the enemy, right? Like he wants you to fall. That's his whole goal is to make you fall. And when you start having a relationship with Christ and you become the person that Jesus wants you to be, that he made you to be, well, that pisses the enemy off. And hey, I'm happy to make him mad every single day. I don't really care. I'm rocking for Christ, no doubt. Till the day I die and forever after that. So I will say all of that. I will say that sometimes things do get a little rough. But when you know who to turn to, when you know when you fall, you can turn directly, immediately to Jesus and ask forgiveness, and he's always there for you. Um, Dude, there's no better place. There's no peace like that. I'm telling you. So for those of you that, might be struggling with stuff. Oh, actually, you know what? I really want to make a point to say this. I don't do prayer requests a lot, but if every single person in this that's listening to this right now would do me a favor and just take 30 seconds out of your day, please send up a prayer for my buddy Thor. Um, he just had major surgery. I'm not going to go into full details, but he had major surgery that was pretty rough on him. It's going to be a big change for him. It's going to be a big change for the family. He's okay, but he still needs our prayers because, it was something very serious. And, I'm sure he'll come on the podcast at some point and talk about it and that, we'll get there when we get there. But um, yeah, he's life's changing for him. So yeah, send up some prayers. I've been praying every day for him. Thankfully, by the grace of God, he's been doing okay. But you can never have too many people praying in your corner. So I had to get that out. But anyway, Dustin's waiting on us. Christ is King. Go shoot your bow. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure to leave us a review. And here we go. My new buddy, been buddies for like a week now, Mr. Dustin Cole. Uh, this is going to be a completely different episode, I think, than what I've usually done. And we may get emotional. It's okay. It's all right. Real men cry. It's fine. But before we do all that, dude, Dustin, you were on. So I feel bad that I didn't know about you sooner. Because you were on working
It's all
class a
good, dude.
long time ago. And like probably around maybe around when I started listening. I don't
2019,
know. Yeah, like it was what episode was it? It was like 265 or something, right?
295. So that would have been like their first trade show, like circuit, when they started going
Got it.
around to them. Because I
Okay.
mean, yeah, that's when I first went up to meet them, and that was a whole experience. Like I
Yeah.
was nervous as all get out. I had a buddy with me. He's like, "What is your problem?" I'm like,
Getting
"He
a little
don't listen. He
starstruck.
don't understand."
That's
But
so
it was
funny.
good, man. It was good. Got
That
to meet
well,
him.
I remember the first time I talked to Kurt, dude, like the first time he came on the podcast, I was pretty nervous about it. But then after like 5 minutes, it was just, you know,
Dude, they're
it was
awesome.
like I knew the dude my whole life.
Yeah.
But you were on recently the Hunt and the Mason Dixon podcast, and the timing's kind of funny because Jordan came on here a couple weeks ago, and then he told me about y'all's episode, and so I went looking for it, and I listened to the whole thing. It was hilarious, but then at the end, you guys touched on something that was that's extremely important to me, and I've been looking for the right person to have an episode about it, and you stood out as the right person. So
I
I'm not
got,
going to
I got
spoil
you, man.
anything. We'll get to it. But before we do all that and the hot and heavy crap, why don't you tell people who you are and a little bit about your past deer season? Because you had a very good deer season from what I hear.
Yeah. So I'm Dustin Cole, as you said before. I live in Southern Ohio. Husband, a father, and I serve a Lord and Savior that's it's done me very well. It's been cool to watch His work through my life, especially the past few years. I've really kind of watched it play out, and I felt it. So it's been nice. It's nice to see that. I'm a mechanic by trade. I work for a commercial concrete company, so I service anything to do with the job site. Um, been doing that. I've been a mechanic for like 14 years, but I've been there for going on 6. Other than that, dude, grilling season's upon us, so looking forward to get out on the water and get some crappies when I'm on the grill and kicking back and tossing the ball around with the boys and listening to some music, just hanging out, man. I keep it low key anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Getting
Hey,
too
that's the
old
best
for
way
all
to
the
do it, man.
craziness.
Yeah, me and my wife were actually just talking about that the other day because I forget why it came up, but we mentioned, or she mentioned something about how we used to go out all the time, and I'm like, it's been nice because I've never been. I did all my, I guess you could say, hard partying and whatnot in my late teens, early 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and then I met her when I was 23, and it's like becoming a stepdad because she had a 2-year-old daughter at the time, and now she's 10 going on 11. She's a preteen. Hormones are all over the place, dude. It's been wild, but
I feel for you, brother. I
it's
got two
it's just gonna
boys,
get
so
worse.
it's
It's
just
just gonna
fighting
get worse.
24/7 here.
Yeah, dude. We had something happen the other day that like I had to flip the switch real quick because I realized what was happening. Because I still see her as like the little,
Mm-hmm.
nutcase that just doesn't listen. But then I was like, well, wait a minute, she's getting to be that age. I wonder if that's this. And it was. And but yeah, me and Jess were talking, and I was like, it's nice that I don't get dragged out to the bars anymore. She's like, well, we haven't been in a long time. I was like, we've been, but for like family events,
Mm-hmm.
not just going out and wasting money drinking. And because I used to drink pretty heavy, right? And I
Brother.
stopped doing that. And that was honestly, I think part of it, I want to give a lot of credit to the Lord. Part of it definitely was him, but the other part of it was I kind of just grew out of it. Like a whiskey and Coke every now and then, no problem. But
Absolutely.
10 of them, nah, I don't need them.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
think
know
about
what I'm
that one.
saying? Like I get gnarly hangovers. I don't need all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, it's kind of funny to look back and see like I'm getting older. I'm growing up. I don't do as much stuff as I used to do. And I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but your deer season, ADD, you got to forgive me
No, I
there.
got it, but I'm riddled
Uh,
with it. It's all good.
so your deer season this year, dude, you showed me one of the bucks that you killed, and then
Yeah.
you showed me a couple others that showed up after. I can totally, I mean, it fits the bill of Ohio 100%, right?
But I'm excited. The ones I showed you that came after, man, I'm excited because that just makes next year that much more just draw, go all out. Let's
Yeah.
make the moves. Let's do the right things. And then with that piece, man, it's so when was that? I've been trying to backtrack a little bit. Like right around 23-ish, I think. Like I grew up, give you another little piece of my backstory. I grew up, my dad had beagles growing up, so we rabbit hunted all the time. But I was always in the woods, always doing something with him. But I kept finding myself like lean towards that. Where are the deer going? Uh, I enjoyed rabbit hunting, but I just venture off by myself and try to figure this out. So throughout my life, it's just been, deer. I've wanted to do deer things and didn't get a lot of opportunities as a kid. I hunted a few times, but dad didn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But grew up watching all the DVDs, the juries, the monster bucks, and the road trips, all that. So I've been obsessed with it. But started 2016. I killed my first deer with a bow, vertical bow, and then 17 hit. I had that heart surgery, so that put me out for a while. Felt fine after like the first year, but physically just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So used crossbow for a few years. I think I killed 2 deer with crossbow. I had my first buck and the one I killed with Walker too. His first sit. If you want to see him behind me,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I can see a rack behind you. So that's why I
Oh,
was
there's
like,
a
I
I
hope.
got sheds and everything here if you want to see him. But so this is my first deer. Little broke
Okay.
off fork
Elliot.
horn.
I like it.
I rattled him in, and he sounded like a 150 coming through the woods. So, like, first year, I am absolutely cranked to the moon. I'm surprised the tree wasn't shaking.
It
So
probably
as he was
was.
getting ready to come out, it was like a big wooded funnel basically between a bunch of ag fields.
Yeah.
And as he comes out of the woods where I could see him, I'm already full draw, and that thing steps out. And I'm like, well, crap, what do I do here? But that was only about 3 seconds. And it's game over, brother. You're getting blasted. So, dude, I hit him. I 10 ringed him. I mean, complete pass through, and he limited to U. And I watched there's a little creek, probably 40 yards on the other side of me. He went across that creek, and I watched him fall over. I didn't know what to do.
That's the best feeling.
Freaked out. And then this buck here was my boy's first hunt with me. And that was a good one. That was in 2020. And then, I mean, we'll touch on it some more too, but that's the year that mom passed. And that was like the first time, like the only hunt I did that year. And he come walking up about 5 yards from the ground blind, and I put the scope on him. I tried to shoot. I couldn't see nothing but brown. Tried dialing it in. Then I looked at Walker and was just like, "Do you want me to shoot him?" He was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, it's what we're doing." But double lung him, and now he's there.
Hell yeah, dude.
This year, man, this year was cool. I picked up a little piece down the road from a buddy I went to high school with. His name's Dylan Freeze. He's actually a NPFL, National Professional Fishing League.
Yeah.
He's a third-year pro there. It's his parents' place, but it's just a little rut funnel, man. I got a bunch of ag surrounding me, and it's like 9 acres total, 6 acres of huntable. But the way it sets up, it just kind of rolls. It got a south-facing ridge that runs, I mean, probably a quarter mile, a half mile down the road. But it comes down, and behind the ridge, right at the bottom of the ridge, is just an open field that's probably 120 yards long and maybe 80 yards wide. But that's the only little secluded field in that. Between ag across the road, and it's just a big ridge, bunch of hardwoods on the other side. And then when you go to the left side from where my blind sits, it funnels in to the same thing, hardwoods. So that's the only open area. I got a creek on the backside. And the backside ridge is almost part of it's just too steep for them to go anywhere, so that they have to funnel through there.
Like a perfect setup.
Hunted there 23, 24. Seen a lot of deer, but new property. Like, you go into a place and like you're still figuring it out. And I had been out of the game so long, but like consuming content over the years, like I found it, like the WCB guys. Like, I found them in would have been my surgery, so 2017. I mean, they were on their first handful of episodes.
Yeah.
But so listening to them over that time, I was like, all right, let's just take it and apply it. Seen deer, never got really too close. Didn't hunt as much as I wanted to. I probably would have seen more, but went to the shoot this year or the past year. And then after that, I was just like, hey, it's time. So I went and found a Bear Adapt, picked it up. Single cam. I was like, that'd be perfect. Nice. You know what I mean? To try to get back into it. And Kurt handed me free Dominant Strand strings. So I hit up Lewis from Dominant Strands, and he got me some strings made up, dude. And awesome guy. I love him to death. Like, we talk a lot. Like, it's cool to create that relationship, but practice all summer. I mean, every day. Like, I was in it to win it. And, shout out to the old lady, man, because she was behind me the whole way. Like, you can do it, encouraging me. And we built a blind platform here in the yard, took it down there, got it all set up. And then it was game on. Like, got my first cell cams this year. That was cool. Got the Moultries and really enjoying them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Got a buddy from work, Lucas, man. It's a young kid. He deer hunts too. And he was like, hey, I switched to Tacticams because all his family used Tacticams and they share everything. And he's like, you want these Moultries?
Yeah.
I was like, sure. How much you want for them? Nothing. So he handed me 2 Moultries, free, a solar panel. Like, here you go, brother. You can have
dude,
it.
He gave you the whole setup.
Oh yeah, dude, awesome, man. I love the kid to death. But
that's crazy.
Got them set up, man, and started, playing around. And it was October 4th was my first sit of the year. It was about 80 degrees here in Ohio, so got in the ball.
In October?
Oh, dude, it was so hot. I was in the blind for the first like 2 hours, shirtless, just
Jeez.
sweating.
That's like Georgia weather.
Dude, it was awful. It was miserable. I was just like, come on, but I was itching so bad, dude. I had to get in the woods. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But first sit of the year, smoked a doe. First year in 8 years with vertical bow, man. You thought I killed a 200. I hit her and watched her pile up about 60 yards. So I felt really accomplished then. And a few short weeks later, October 28th, me and the boy were debating on going hunting and stuff. We were supposed to go trick or treating that night, and I was like, you know what, like it's October 28th, like it's Halloween, you know what I mean? It's Halloween.
Yeah.
And then from years prior, I've seen, from camera pictures or whatever, that some of the good bucks start moving through there either then or late November. So I was just like, all right, I know I got some decent ones on camera. Let's get in here. And we had an east wind, which was east, east, northeast ish, which was honestly from where they were supposed to be coming from. Awful.
Yeah.
But sometimes I care, sometimes I don't. It depends on how bad I just want to go hunt. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
if I
Oh,
see them and get to them before they can smell me, we're in the chips.
Yep.
But which was awful. But the wind was awful. But Walker, yeah, I can get candy from my brother, so let's go hunting. All right, dude. So we went hunting, got in a little early. So I took off. I was off early that day, so we got in a little early. We're sitting there and talking, and I started a tradition this year that when we sit in the blind with kids, that the face paint, they decide it. So each sit, I had different face paint. I let them paint it on me, dude. I really enjoyed that like a lot. It's been
Yeah.
real fun. But low key, we're gonna have beef once he realizes, because I got the old Fear No Evil face paint going on when I killed that deer.
Oh my
I
God.
was just like, Walker, you did me dirty, brother. Come on now.
Hey, you know who to blame.
Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dude,
But
that's awesome.
we were sitting there, and it was probably 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I hear a bunch of scratching behind me. I knew what it was. I knew it was a bunch of turkeys, right? You can hear them. I could hear them clucking around and yelping a little bit. And the
Yeah.
walker was just looking at her, Dad, there's a bunch of deer. I'm like, turkeys, man. And dude, we probably had 20 or 30 turkeys coming behind us.
Good Lord.
Right down the ridge, right behind us, dude. And like 10 of them right underneath the blind platform. And he's watching them. I'm like, be still, man. They got really good eyesight. Like, I got that mesh stuff up in spots where I don't want them to see in, but we watched them for probably 10 or 15 minutes, and it got last hour or so. And I was like, hey, bud, like, I'm going to rattle here. Like, it's time to lock in. So if you see anything, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cause he's sitting on the right side of the blind. I'm on the left. And there's a trail right out in front of me that goes to the creek that the landowners use. They got a big little swimming hole down there, take the grandkids and stuff. And where the bow window is, I can't see that trail. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I rattle and do a little grunt sequence, and it wasn't just probably 30 or 45 seconds left. I hear this deer coming down the ridge. And I'm like, all right, that's obviously a buck. Well, then I can't see it. I got my binos up. I'm trying to find him. Still can't see him because there's still some green. And he comes down, he gets quiet for a minute, and then you hear him making a scrape. And I'm like, oh, crap. It's go time. Like, it's showing some dominance. So I'm like, how big is this deer going to be? Knowing what I've had on camera, it's got the potential to be probably one of the bigger deer I'm ever going to kill.
Well, and you're in Ohio too. I mean,
that
changes
you
things.
Never know.
Yeah,
never
like
know.
Look what Lee Ellis killed in Ohio this year. That
Insane.
changes things.
It's insane. That dude's awesome. Like what he's able to do year in, year out is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, like, he gives me hope every season that something big could come around the corner. But
no, so like I grunted, heard him making that scrape. So I looked at Walker and was like, hey bud, like this is either an older deer, he's showing some dominance. So like see if you find him. And I still don't see anything. Like I hear him, he hits the creek. So I'm looking and I can see underneath all the green and brush kind of where they come out. I can't see anything. And then the next thing I know, Walker just starts like starts stuttering. I'm like, what, bro? Like, what's going on? And he couldn't do anything. He's like, look up. And then me being who I am, I don't take anything serious ever.
Yeah.
I'll take my binos. I'm like looking at the top of the blind, and he's like, no, Dad, he's right there. I'm like, oh. And I peek around the bow window because I couldn't see the trail.
Yeah.
And I peek around, and he's walking in at 40 yards. He's already at 40 yards. I think my bow's still sitting next to me. Nothing. I got binos in hand. I'm like, oh crap. Just what do I do? And then I was going to try to film it. So I have my tripod set up on my phone, and it's kind of in the main window, your blind, pop-up blind, and I completely forgot about it. Forgot about it being there.
It happens.
It's okay. I wasn't mad about it because
I was going to say, like, you got him, so
but
it doesn't matter.
I grabbed my bow, one hand, like picking it up, put my binoculars in the harness, and I go to range him. And I'm like, my scrape tree that I put up is like 30-ish yards. And he was kind of in front of it. So I'm like, all right. Well, then he arranged him. He was at like 33. So I was like, okay. So I put my rangefinder down. Well, I missed my pocket. And I got it attached by like paracord onto my strap.
Yeah.
And when I missed my pocket, it was it hit everything you could think of. Rightfully so, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of stopped. And like, Walker's just, he couldn't sit still. Like, come on, you got to chill, like tuck behind the blind or something.
Yeah.
But he kind of took a couple steps back and then started walking again. So I clipped on, I went full draw. And as I come full draw, I come up and I absolutely just destroyed my tripod with my bow. Launched this thing. And I was like, oh no. And actually, like, that stopped him just long enough for me to throw one at him, and I hit him. He was quarter two, a little more than I thought he was.
Yeah.
So he's dead. He's laying right here on the table, but hit him a little front of that shoulder, but I was able to get far enough in. I took the bottom of his heart out, and he literally ran 30 yards, and we both sat there and watched him fall over, dude. But I got him right here. If you want to take a look at him.
Hell yeah. I love that split brow tine, dude. I really do. That's so cool.
108 inches of pure adrenaline, baby.
God, that's so crazy. Because, like, looking at him, I'd say 100 would be about what he scores, but he's really wide. So I can see where that's at. Kind of kills me too, because, like, I've got the deer you see behind me over to my right. He has 11 points. He's got 6 brow tines, and he only scores 102. And it's like,
what?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. He looked a lot bigger. I'll send you a picture of him.
Yeah.
More close up, but it's weird how these deer will just sort of throw you. You know, I mean, I had one of the bucks on camera I was telling you about, the one that broke his rack. Before he broke his rack, he was probably he had about 140-inch frame by Georgia standards. Maybe I won't say 140. I'll say probably 130. And maybe would have scored like 110 just because he had one strong side and one weak side. So it's crazy how these deer do that, man. But, like, I want to, now that we've covered the fun stuff.
Can I add one more thing?
Huh?
Can I add one more thing? One more hunt story.
Go ahead.
I got to hunt with my 6-year-old for the first time this year. And this kid's going to be an absolute killer because we sitting there, had a doe come out. It was still early. I wanted him to go. He wanted to go. Still early. His doe come out at like 80 yards. And he got a dry erase board. You know, he's drawing pictures. And I'm like, River, there's a doe. And he was like, all right, let me look at it. And he's looking at it through the binos. And he's like, can you shoot her? I'm like, not this far, buddy. And he was just like, well, tell me when you can kill something, dude. And just sat right back down. And I'm like, you savage, bro.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
He's ready to go next year, which is surprising because he took a little hiatus there. He was like, I don't want to go. And at the end of the season, he was all amped back up. But
dude, they do that, man. My daughter will do the same thing. She doesn't talk about it at all during the off season. The second I'm like, hey, just so you know, Tiff, I'm going to the woods this weekend. She's like, oh, can I go? I'm like, you didn't even ask to do anything to get ready for it. I don't have the gear for you. I don't have a boat. Like, you got to tell me this stuff, kid. And still because she's really, really like artsy.
Hmm.
So she makes like paper dragons and she loves Pokemon. And so that's kind of what
Don't
she's
even get me started on Pokemon,
oh,
bro.
dude.
I'd be loaded. I
We
had like
I had to turn the
my
house upside down yesterday just to find her cards because she wouldn't go to bed before we did. She was like almost in tears. She's like, I had so many. I'm like, listen, because I when I was younger, I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh, so I had a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and so I've got experience of losing them and then finding them, right?
yeah.
And so I tell her, I'm like, give me 5 seconds. I promise you, I know where they're at. Sure enough, I go in her little playroom. There they are in a bin. She just didn't move stuff, and I'm like, if you'd actually look, you'd
Sounds like
find
my
it.
oldest.
Yeah, it's like use your eyes. The good Lord gave you two of them. Put them to work.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. I basically turned that kid into a nerd because I was the
Nothing wrong with that, bro.
well, the three big things I was into, or actually really big four things I was into as a kid was Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, NASCAR, and hunting. So it's like she's into about two of those. So it's
Hey.
like I'm shooting 50-50,
Yeah,
right?
it's Hall of Fame, baby. We're playing
Yeah.
baseball, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, she played softball. I tried to get her into that because I played that too. And
Yeah.
dude, nothing. She hated it. She was really good at
Yes.
volleyball, hated softball. So I'm still figuring it out. I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean,
I'm just
nobody
doing.
does, dude. We just day by day, man, have faith in the Lord and he'll get us through it. But yeah,
Yep.
20 this season was awesome, man. I mean, got this deer like it's sitting here and without, the Lord and, my wife, pushing me through it, it wouldn't have been what it would have been. Very thankful. Like she was so proud of me. She actually has this deer tattooed now on her arm. She went and
Oh
got
wow.
like a traditional style tattoo of my buck I killed this year. It's super dope.
Dang, dude, you got a cool wife.
Dude, she's
That's a
awesome.
really cool wife. Mine's
Dude,
like, yeah, no deer upstairs. I don't want to hear about it. I mean, she's very supportive,
this thing
but
sits right on the mantle next to the TV, man.
yeah, well, dude, she hates when it gets closer to deer season because I'll only ever watch hunting stuff, and she's like, more hunting videos. I'm like, well, seek one, dropped a new one. I gotta watch it.
I'm
What do you
getting
want
a
from me?
turkey this year, so I've never turkey hunted, and that's
Yeah,
all
neither
through
have
on the
I.
TV and walking around the house, all the calls, and yeah,
Dude, you know what I want to do would be really cool, and I'm not going to tell her I'm going to do this unless I kill a bird. And actually, I probably won't even tell her till it's done. I want to get like a turkey fan, right? And
yeah,
just come home with it and then start fanning myself. Be like, hey, are you hot? I'm kind of hot. And
it's kind of
I don't
hot.
know what her reaction's going to be, but I hope that she wants it.
Do it. You need to
I
do it.
really hope she
Good
wants
on
it because,
marketplace. You can probably find somebody selling one.
yeah, I want it to be one that I killed though.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm really weird about that. Like I've got a buck next to me who probably would go, I don't know, 135. I didn't kill it. It was a gift because my parents knew I was into hunting as a kid, so they got me this
Yeah.
mount from work. And dude, what the funny thing is, high school, I had this deer on my floor, right? And so anytime, and this is going to be a little sneak peek into the past of your boy before I found the Lord. But anyway,
Hey, brother,
um,
I did it too. You ain't
hey,
fast.
look, a girl would come over and this deer would be staring at them in the room. And I kid you not, there were so many times that she would be like, "Can you move that? Because it's
Yeah.
looking at me." And I'm like, "All right." So I'd put him
Hey,
in the closet. She'd leave, I'd bring him back
I put
out.
him in the closet.
Dude, yeah, I'd turn him
Poor
around too,
guy.
just in case. Like
Poor
it's
guy just trying to catch a
hey,
pig, man.
yeah, dude. We were just trying to do what what these bucks are doing, but they
That's right.
they
That's right.
he threw him off some. So I got them all down here in the basement now. But I wanna sort of change gears.
Let's do it.
Because one thing you touched on in the episode on HMD was men's mental health. And
Amen.
I I don't know I think I know where you're gonna take this because I want to give you the floor.
Yeah.
And I'll roll with it and add my 2 cents in. But one thing I can say is that this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, and I feel like every single man struggles with it at some level, right?
It's not talked about enough in general, but even in, the place we are,
Yeah.
like the hunting in general, like I don't think I've ever heard it mentioned
I've
anywhere.
heard it once on
It's
working class, one
yeah.
time. And then
Which one was
obviously
that?
HMD. But do what?
Which episode was that?
Oh Lord, I don't
Remember?
know. It was
Remember the Lee
so
Ellis episode?
maybe.
And then Kurt,
I think it was older than that.
well,
I think
Kurt
it was
mentioned old boy coming in the studio and crying like a little baby.
maybe. There's been a
That was
few episodes lately that they get to crying. So I mean maybe they're talking about it more than.
I know Kurt mentioned I was the crier.
Yeah.
I was
No,
at the
I
shoot
know that.
went over to the studio, and
Yeah.
it was just all. I've been 11 years going. Like I've listened to him from the beginning, and it just hit me. Like I never thought that I'd be one at the studio,
Yeah.
two in the position I am. Period. And I was the crier. It was funny to hear it, but no, it's not talked about enough, man. It needs to be mentioned a little more. I
Mhm.
think the most masculine thing you can do is ask for help.
Yeah. I completely
100%.
agree.
Like,
Well, the thing is, we're raised like my dad, my stepdad, they both raised me basically that if something's wrong, you don't talk about it. And
no.
I've always disagreed with that. Like I'll give an example, last, was it Sunday? Yeah, this past Sunday. Um, Woke up, my wife was out of town, so it's me and Tiff, and I woke up in like this weird mood, right? And
Mhm.
so me and Tiff go to church. It's kind of a weird day at church. I personally have never had one like that. Like I was there, but I felt extremely disconnected, which isn't normal. And Tiff wanted to go to her grandma's place. So I was like, okay, well, you can go ahead and go. I'm gonna go home, because we have a pug. So she's got like severe, um, what's the word? Separation anxiety. It's
Yeah.
like you leave for 2 seconds, she thinks you're gone for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I had to get home, and the whole ride home, dude, I was like, what is wrong? Like, why am I feeling like this? And the whole day, I just felt like there was like a dark cloud over me. And I texted my wife and was like, hey, don't know what's going on, but this feeling's back, right? Because I had a
Mhm.
day like that a week before. And it's just really weird. And like I get really, really heavy on like the spiritual side of things. And I know that yes, we can get down on some stuff, but I also know who amplifies that.
100%. I
You get what
guarantee
I'm
as soon as you
saying?
got on any type of social media, it was everything dark and everything bad
Oh
and
yeah,
everything sad immediately.
dude,
And
it
it's just like,
was.
what are we doing? How do we get here? Like, I haven't even watched
Exactly.
any of this. It's,
Yeah. Well, and most of my Instagram stuff is all like Bible quotes and, saints and stuff and things that they said. And
yeah.
I went on there and it's like, I wouldn't say it was really dark stuff, but it just was stuff that was distracting me from that,
Hmm.
and it was just weird, dude. And like the annoying part is I feel personally kind of like a hypocrite sometimes because I didn't have a rough childhood. I didn't grow up, and do any or go through any real, I guess you could say, hardships like
Hmm.
that. Like, yeah, my parents split, but I was six, you know?
Yeah.
And I almost feel, in a sense, ungrateful when I have days like that. Because it's like,
There's
what
no
do I
need to,
have?
bro.
Do I?
No need to. Just because, I mean, your situation doesn't compare to anybody else's situation. Mental health's mental health. It's not what I
Yeah.
went through.
Well,
You
and
know what I
it's
mean?
it's just weird, because like I hear, your story and other guys' stories, and I'm just like, what? Why? Why am I feeling like this? It's like, dude, literally, I have no reason. And the only thing I can really justify, or I guess chalk that up to, is attacks from the enemy, right? Like
Yeah.
that for me is the only way I could sit here and be like, okay, I know where my faith is at. I know who I'm rocking for. I'm not perfect by any means, right? Still struggle with the
Yeah.
same stuff I did before I got saved, before I knew who Christ was.
Hmm.
But it's, I guess, we're in a different position now. Like when that stuff happens, we know where we can go. We know who to turn to. We're not
Yeah,
alone in it.
100%. And that's been my saving grace, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can jump into it and kind of give a
Yeah.
little rundown and backstory. That way, everybody can kind of follow along with my downfall. I mean, just to be blunt.
Yeah.
So I did the heart surgery thing, and then being so excited, like you just kind of with the hunting situation. Like I was ready. 2016. We were going to get into it hot and heavy, and that's what I was going to do. So then surgery came around, and that was a big surprise. So I had a aortic valve replacement. So now I have an artificial aortic valve that sounds like a bomb 24/7. I tick and like
I bet
actually,
TSA loves you.
oh dude, I really wanted to get a shirt made and says like I'm not a bomb. It's not a bomb, but
Yeah.
I'm like that's probably not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
But
I wouldn't do
no,
that. Walk into a
but
Walmart saying that, and everyone's like, wait, what?
it was actually funny recording with Jordan. There was times like if you were listening to it close enough, you could hear it
I
on the
tried. I
podcast.
couldn't hear it.
Couldn't hear it. That's
No.
once you if we ever get to meet, and you hear it, you'll never unhear it. And like
Yeah.
we can be within standing distance of each other, and you're like, brother, you need to turn that thing down. Like, but
That's
that took
crazy.
a lot
So
out.
so the
That took a
ticker
lot out.
though, that basically for people who don't maybe know, that's keeping your heart like pumping, right? Like that's
The
keeping the
aortic valve's
rhythm
your main
going.
valves. Like it's all your oxygen in your blood. That's what it's got to go through. So mine, I was born with congenital heart defects. So basically, your aortic is shaped like this, and then you have a leaflet, and a leaflet, and
Hmm.
that's basically what closes, right, and opens. So my heart already didn't open or close all the way, so it leaked blood. So
Oh
then your
wow.
body's naturally like, hey, dude, we got to get that back in there. So it
Yeah.
worked, cut a little extra. But over time, the leaflets wore out. So I didn't have anything. So they split me open and pulled my heart out, laid it on my chest, and fixed it and put her back in, man. That's
Wow.
more of the story on that. But
Dude,
just,
that's crazy.
I was thankful
Just
I was young. I was able to, recover fast,
yeah.
but I didn't realize how much muscle I had lost and how long it was going to take. So like being out of the hunting game so long, it kind of down in the dumps on that. But we got through it. I managed a little bit. I found the Lord in 19. Doing all the partying and stuff in between all that. And when I found the Lord, man, it was just kind of like, what have you been doing? Like you just had heart surgery, and now we're out here partying like crazy, and then doing the stuff you shouldn't be doing when you just had
Yeah.
open heart surgery and a second chance. Um, so I wasn't taking it serious. But my wife's a social worker, and the church we do attend, they're real big on showing them love. So that we had a whole Sunday that was just dedicated to them, and she's like, "Hey, I really want to go." I'm like, "All right," and we've been there ever since. So March 24th, 2019 was when I was baptized. So we're coming
4
up.
days before my birthday. Nice.
That's yeah, March 4th. I just turned 34 on the 14th, so
You old
March is a good
old
month for
dog.
me, man.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good one for me
But
too.
yeah, gave my life to the Lord, brother, on that. Then, so I was 19, and then like I've touched before in this podcast already, 2020. Mom unfortunately passed from. She had a stroke, and I had to be the one to say, "Hey, that's enough. We ain't gonna work no more." In the moment, it was a relief almost because I mean she wasn't in good health. Like she was juvenile diabetic. She had been on dialysis for 8 years. Like
Oh wow.
yeah, that's a long time. And we'd even had talks. Like she was just like, dude, I'm tired. Like
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting stuff shoved in my arms. I'm like, bro, I get it. Like I get it. But and
Dude,
then
that's one of the
yeah,
scariest things because my dad passed away in 21 and he used to tell me the same stuff. He's like, I'm just tired. And I'm like,
yeah,
keep fighting, dude. Like, come
yeah.
on. You got a granddaughter now. Keep fighting. And
And that's
it's
we
one of
had
those
Walker. Yeah.
deals. Like, you just don't. I feel like the people that haven't gone through that yet don't know what that situation does to you. Right. And we
It's
all handle it different ways. But, like, I mean, there's still days, that
mm-hmm.
I have his voicemails on my phone and
Yeah, me
I
too.
listen to like the first 2 seconds and I can't even get through it because it's like, dude, like she's growing up. She's got all these things. I mean, he used to
Mm-hmm.
spoil the crap out of her. This girl loves dinosaurs. You want to talk about every week? My dad was blowing money on her, just dinosaur toys and all this
Yeah,
crazy
my mom was the
stuff.
same way, man.
Yeah.
And
And it's like, it just sucks that he's not here now to actually see, what she's turned into.
mhm.
So,
Mom would beat him up. But
yeah,
I
but
got a video of her because River was just born. He was a few months old.
yeah.
Um, when she passed. But there's a video. She's been playing with the both of them, and I'll watch it all the time. It makes me
Oh,
so
man.
happy just to hear her laugh and
Yeah.
all that. But yeah, I took that pretty hard after a few months to a year. I mean, I was okay for a little bit just because I was still kind of at peace in that, like, all right, she's not suffering anymore. Like, thank you,
Yeah.
Lord, in a way. And then after a while of not having her around and then like cleaning her house out and then having all this stuff here and just kind of staring at it, that's when it smacked me. And we hit a real dark hole, and I went right back to all the things times 100. I was drinking close to a 30 rack in a couple days, like,
Whew.
yeah. And then
Dang. That's I gotta be honest, I respect that.
yeah, I mean I
That's
was
crazy.
cranking them out, man. It was not good.
Yeah.
But my wife's a freaking champion, dude. Like, to stick by me through all that and to see what she knew I was going to be on the other side if I could make it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gave her all the props in the world because there's no way in hell I would have done it. I don't think I could have
You,
done it. You know what I mean?
you
Try
got
to raise a kid with a guy that's so completely mentally removed from the day to day.
yeah.
Like, I would literally come home and I got to the point, like, my kids were, as soon as I walked through the door, here you go, Dad. Like, I didn't have my boots off yet, and they're handing me a beer.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
It
Like,
just became
that's
like a
not
thing.
something you want. That's not something you want your kids to do. And
No, not at all.
but I didn't realize that at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, when you were doing, when you're going through that, were you guys still going to church? Like, were you still, connected in and all that, or did you kind of take a break
Uh,
from it?
yeah, we kind of drifted off a little bit, just due to the circumstances. Like, I was going through so much that I didn't want it. I mean, we here and there would hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and then push through. We had a lot of moments, and then I'm trying to think. I think I got it. The actual. I've got a bunch of notes here. Probably, I think it was like 22, middle of 22, man. It got real dark. So like losing mom, going through all that, still doing that. I'm floating back and forth. Like, I had times where, I cleaned my act up, I'd be all right. And then as I got, I guess, more clear headed, um, my dad turned out to be a completely different person than I thought he was growing up.
Yeah.
And that wrecked me as an adult. Um, he lives a quarter mile, less than a quarter mile from me currently. Like, I can walk to his house
Yeah.
and would never come see the kids. Like, wouldn't come to the sports. And I was just like, who is this guy?
Mm.
So then, of course, I'm like asking mom's friends and things like that. Like, hey, is this who he truly is? And they were all just like, yeah, like, we didn't want to tell you. You just had to find out for yourself. But that kind of brought back a lot of the trauma from, mom's passing and just other things, like, too. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And threw up
Well, because
that.
like you look at
But
it, as dads, right?
yeah,
Our
that was my
jobs, our jobs are to be there for the kids,
yeah,
and like my
that
dad,
was my
dude, it's crazy hearing this because as good of a dude my dad was, same thing. Like my dad, when I was 18, um, so I'll kind of give a little bit of a small, quick backstory because I don't want to
no, go ahead.
derail you too much.
No, you're
But
good. Go ahead.
um, my dad cheated when I was 6, and that's why him and my mom split. And I remember for like probably 12 years before I confronted him about it, my mom would always be like, "Oh, well, he just, she wouldn't tell me what he did, right?
Mhm.
Like she made some excuse up. I don't remember what it was. And then I turned 18 and she was like, "Hey, so this is really what happened." So immediately I call my dad and I'm like, "Hey, dude, what's the story? What's your side?" Because I'm not, I'll believe what she says, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt like I always do with everybody. And he told me, he's like, he claimed that nothing ever happened. Yet I had already seen receipts. Like there was proof, right? So I'm like, why are you lying? And so we get into it, and one of the last things he said to me in that conversation, thankfully we fixed everything. But at the time, he was like, "Look, I never even wanted you. All right, like I didn't even want you to be born. All this stuff, like you were an accident, yada yada yada." And I'm like, "Cool, thanks, pops.
Yeah.
All right, talk to you later." And
Mhm.
dude, that right there, being told that, I can't even imagine saying that to my daughter and being like, yeah, you know what? Honestly, I thought I wanted to be a dad, but I don't. I just want to be married to your mom. So get out of here. Like it's just who how can you say that? You
Yeah.
know? And
I
so
mean, I got
like
a
go ahead.
I got a letter from when my grandpa passed. I got a letter from my grandmother, which remind you that, like, this was every weekend.
Yeah.
I was at my grandpa's. Like, my best friend, he passed, but so she taught me how to play poker and do all that. And like, we'd sit up, where she let me stay up, eat pints of ice cream, and
Great skills.
then during
Great
the
skills.
summer I'd go out. Yeah, and during the summer I'd go out and, in the yard and catch night crawlers, and she'd let me keep them in the basement. We give the
Yeah.
cornmeal and newspaper, and I'd go out and she'd help me sell them, and I mean, do garden and do all these things, the normal kid did with her grandparents, but grandpa passed. And then I got a letter from her saying that she'd never loved me, that it was all a front for my grandfather, and that I would be nothing in life and all these things. And reading that, I was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Who does that?
what
Who
do you mean?
does
Who
that?
are you? Who, like, you're telling me my entire childhood has been a absolute farce,
Lie.
like fake, but whatever. Like, fold it back up, put it in the trash, to keep on keeping on. But like, it's the stuff that, as I got older in life, that some of that dark time, they triggered it, and it just made it worse. It was just like, am I worthy? Am I enough? Like,
Dude.
what is going on?
We're
So
going down such a deep rabbit hole that I've been wanting to go down for so long. Because those types of things, man,
it's common though. It's more common. So like, here you
It
are,
is.
and it's like you kind of got the same situation.
Yeah.
And there's guys out there, there's girls out there that are dealing with the same things, but like they have no one they can relate to.
Yeah.
And that's why I've honestly enjoyed, coming on here and then being able to tell my stuff on Jordan's, because it's, in the day and age we are, it's able to reach so many people so fast.
Oh yeah. I'm
And,
sure that I'm going to get a lot of messages about this conversation.
and I hope you do. And I hope this conversation is able to save at least one person.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, the one thing I have to touch on and just make a point is that, the stuff that, you were told that you went through, the stuff that I was told that I went through, like, I don't know where you were in your walk with Jesus at the time, but I didn't have him. I never, let me say it this way. I never denied him. Like, I've never done that, but I had no relationship.
That's where I was at. I was 19. Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
So like I was just fresh home from school. So like,
So
what were you
it,
doing
like,
at 19, right?
yeah, exactly. Like it changes so much when you get that relationship with him, because I mean, dude, I've been hammering this home with Tiffany for the longest. I bought her own Bible and she's all like, well, I can't read it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'll read it to you. I love reading this thing. Like, I want you to know who he was. So when you go through these things, because she's only 10 years old, she's got a long list of things she's going to go through. When you go through these tough times, there's two things I want you to know. One, Jesus is always there for you, regardless of what happens. Two, I will always be there, because that is a commitment that I made. Like, I am not about to do this. Like, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. And I think that's a big thing, is people listening to this and might have past traumas or might be dealing with something right now. If they don't know who Jesus is, he's the best person to take this stuff to, and the best person to have a relationship with. And on top of that, use the bad stuff that happened as motivation to not be that guy or girl or whatever. Like, I look at what my dad did, what other family members have done, and I'm like, okay, thank you for setting the example, because I don't want to be
100%.
that. I'm going to do
100%.
the exact opposite. And I feel like that's the route that you've gone too.
Yeah.
So
it was complete. It was just like, hey, I'm not going to be any of that. But yeah, so it got real dark. We'll get back to it so we can
sorry.
keep on moving. No, you're good.
I go on rants.
Oh, no, I love it. It's all good. I did the same thing. Yeah, it got really, really dark. I mean, my boys are going to listen to this, so I don't think I'm going to go in that much of detail, like I did on HMD. If anybody that's watching this really does, want to hear the other side of it, please go listen. At the end, you'll hear everything. But I found myself on the edge of my bed and going through some stuff. And if it wasn't for, my oldest kind of stumbling in and saying, hey, Dad, out of nowhere, can't sleep. I want to go watch WCB. I'm like, what? Okay. So then, you go from that moment of hang on a minute, like I gotta be dad now. So that I gotta flip that switch real quick. But I'm thankful for those guys. I'm thankful that they've able to put out the platform that they have and reach so many people, because I'm not the only one they've helped. But we sat down on the couch and was watching Eric's elk hunt, of all things. Like, he scrolled through so many videos. So many videos.
Pick the right one.
Right. And he clicked on that one, and seeing Eric's reaction to walking up on his elk, it kind of hit me to my core, and was just like, I was real close to saying, hey, like, I'm not going to go through that. You know what I mean? Um, but then there's this a weird connection, in that too, that is very much God at his work. Eric and I have the same birthday.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Eric and I have the same birthday, and then Kurt and my wife have the same birthday as well. So
Crazy.
like it's not something that just happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then going in, with the hunt, I talked about him being with me when I killed my buck. Um, this is probably where I'm gonna tear up a little bit on you, but I'm just gonna be honest. When I shot the deer, we watched him go down, and to see his emotion and to see my oldest child that I got so much wrong with, because the first one I was nearly a man, you know what I mean? I was still a young kid that
Yeah. You were learning.
learning a lot and just going down a wrong road, start crying uncontrollably out of sheer happiness for me, and to scream, "I'm so proud of you,"
Yeah.
over and over and over. And all I could think was, I didn't get it that wrong. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you did a pretty good job.
Thanks, man. But like, oh, I mean, he tackled me in the blind, dude. He had me in the corner on the ground, and just that's all he kept saying is, "I'm so proud of you." And it's just like, buddy, if you only knew, like, where
Yeah.
I was at a few years ago, like, and then if you only knew how many times I've sat and been like, I suck at this, like, I can't be a father. And for you to do that and be so happy to watch me kill a deer, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that done wonders, man. And it really set it all in stone. And I was just like, all right, there is a reason that I came
Yeah.
out of this, and the reason's God, because without him, I wouldn't be here, man.
Yeah. It's really funny the way that he works, honestly.
It's
Because,
insane.
and then, well, and then, the example I'm gonna give you is not really any comparison to the one you just gave, but
Mhm.
it's funny to me because me and my wife just found this church that we consistently go to now. We've been looking for years. I've been definitely looking for a few years, and we just never found anything that was inviting enough that they taught the word correctly and like, from the book, right? It
Yeah,
was always, you go someplace and maybe the service was nice, but then everybody's clicked up, or maybe
feel
the
good
people
church.
are inviting, but then, and there's no clickiness or anything. But then when they teach, it's like, well, you're missing half the message here. And I only know that because it says it in the book, right?
Yeah,
So we go to this place that the circumstances just, it can only be God. Because my wife was taking my daughter to school, and the church was having coffee and donuts. And she never takes this way. She took a completely different way this time, and came across a church. And she passed them, and they were all happy, and they were, just dancing around at the front and all, just being goofy. And she drops my daughter off, and she decides to go back, because the way that she would normally do it is she'd drop her off at school and then take the other way, and would never go back, past the church. Well, she decides to turn around and go back by the church, and she stops and she's talking with everybody, and she calls me. Now, mind you, I've been praying about this for probably 2 years, where I'm like, God, I don't know, what church we need to go to, but she's got really good discernment with stuff like this.
mhm.
Please let her find it. And she called me up and she goes, "Hey, so I found this really cool church, and everybody's so nice, and they were doing coffee and donuts." And she told me the whole story, and I'm like, "Okay, we're going." And we walk in there, dude, and like the conversation we had before the first service we went to was about like dressing nice, right? Because I'm like you, I'm laid back. Like if I could go to church in a hoodie and a hat, I would do it. But we had this whole conversation. She feels a little differently about it. And we go in there, and we do the service. Service was great. And then I think we're done. And one of the church members comes up and like, "Hey, you gonna join us for Bible study?" And I, for some reason, was like, maybe. Jessica was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." She grabbed me and we went in, and dude, what they talked about in the Bible study was exactly what we talked about on the way there, talking about traditions and how people think that, you got to wear your Sunday's best, and then it really doesn't matter, right?
God don't want you at your Sunday's best. God wants you at your
Exactly.
worst.
So we leave, and she's like dumbfounded. She's like, "I can't believe they were talking about that." And I'm over here, got that since the kids will be listening, I got that poop eating grin on, and I'm like,
Oh man,
how the
brother,
Lord works, man. Like,
did you miss
give
the
me
part where I said I want to watch WCB? Like, come
yeah,
on,
good
you
point.
ain't gonna
Very
be
good point.
you ain't gonna be PG, my man. I
Good
just have to
point.
be
Good
PG on
point.
that.
Yeah, I've had to edit a couple things out when Kurt's been on here. So,
Oh, he's
um,
all right.
but yeah, dude, and like I'm just laughing. I'm like, that's how he works, apparently.
Mhm,
And so then we go back to next week and we're talking about, I forget what we were talking about, but it was the same deal. Everything that they were talking about was exactly what we've been sort of discussing. And I'm like, I look up, I'm like, all right, you just showing out now. I was like, I already knew this. She's learning that, but what?
yeah,
I was like, keep it up, keep it up. And I say all of that because it's just a testament to how he works. You know, like
mhm,
you were at a point that I think I'm not going to say every woman because I don't know, but I know a lot of my buddies, myself included, we've been there. We've
mhm.
been to that point. I have been to that point multiple times throughout my life. And because all I can say is because of Jesus, that's why I'm sitting here. And
Yep.
I think I know that's why you're sitting here too. He brought your son in there to show you like, hey, this is why you're here.
This is your purpose. This is what we're doing here, man. This is
Exactly. And dude, it just it's wild the story, but at the end of it, I can see you seem to be doing fine. You're doing good. You sounded great on the podcast. You sound great here. You sound like you're happy, like you got your
oh
purpose.
man.
You know what you're doing, and you're a mechanic, which I'm sorry about. I was one too. I know how it is. I'm sure your back is probably just completely destroyed.
Hey.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
but
I'm
no, dude.
riding it out, brother. It's God's doing a lot of things good in my life. I've got a lot of really cool connections, and like growing up, watching all the hunting stuff. Everybody wants to be the hunter. You know what I mean? In front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I did that too, but to be a everyday normal guy from Ohio that's on paper not accomplished a lot, to have the friendships that I do within the industry. I'm not like trying to brag or boast by any means, but it's God's work. God has
yeah,
put me here and I'm exactly where I need to be. And I'm able to, direct people in certain ways that he wants me to direct them. You know what I mean? If I can open a door for somebody, I want to open a door for somebody, regardless if I get anything out of it or not. It's just who I am. I want you to win. And if I can help you win, and I'm going to do it regardless if I get any kickback, anything. I want to see you eat and you eat well. That's just how I'm
yeah.
wired. So
We need more of that.
like,
And I think a lot of people want to do that, but then they get in their heads that, you know, they want to be the star, right? Like everybody, I wasn't planning on saying this on here at all, but you know how they've got you can do like AI music now.
yeah.
So when I was a teenager, I was very into like writing songs and playing guitar and all that stuff. So here lately, because I found the app that does it, I've been sort of taking old stuff and throwing it in there just to see what it'll do, and then sort of writing new songs or whatever in my free time. And there was one line I wrote in this song that I just keep on playing over and over and over. And it's everybody wants fortune and fame, but nobody knows your name. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that covers a
That'll
lot
preach,
of
brother. That'll
dude.
preach.
Well, but it's true. It's true. It's like, when I started this podcast, my whole goal was to do what Kurt and them did. Make this the Southern working class bow hunter, right?
Mhm,
And throughout time, it's been like, now, I mean, would I love to do it full time? Sure. But is
mhm.
that the goal? No, the goal is to have good people on, have good conversations, talk about Jesus, and just have a good time. And
You found your lane, man.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, I think that's what all of us are really trying to do. We see this stuff on Instagram, we see this stuff on, TikTok, and everyone's all glamorous and, oh, they got money, or even with the big buck stuff. Like we were talking about this before we started recording, is I had 8 shooter bucks on one property, right? So I go into it thinking, oh, dude. And I remember saying this, and I said the same thing the year before because I had a little bit different situation, but still very promising. And I
Mhm.
remember telling one of my buddies, I'm like, look, man, I'm not saying I'm going to I'm going to tag out opening day or opening week, but the opportunity is there. And one of my buddies at the time was like, dude, you gotta chill out a little bit. He's like, you're sounding a little prideful there. And I was like, no, 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 no. Every single one of those deer disappeared except one. And the one that stayed broke his rack halfway through the season. And I
Mm,
remember going through that and being like I just looked up. I was like, okay, you humbled me.
I see
I
you.
get it. Yeah, I was
I
like,
didn't like it very
thank
much,
you.
but I see you.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? So that spike that's behind me is the only deer I killed last year. It's the first spike I've ever shot. And I'll tell you right now that shooting that deer, it might as well have been a 200 because
Hey.
I was so amped on it. And that's something that like we've been talking about the men's mental health thing, and I feel like a lot of the guys, and comment on this if you feel the same way,
Mhm.
a lot of us that hunt when we have such promising opportunities in the early season and then it completely does a 180 and they disappear, that messes with you. And I don't make
100%.
these deer an idol, but that messes with you because you do all
Mhm.
this time, you put all this effort in, and you're away from the family. Like my spots are not far, but I'm still gone, and
Yeah.
like I'm taking time away from the family to try and go do something I love. And then you don't you don't get the success and you start wondering, like, am I good enough at this? Am I, because especially doing this podcast, the people that I've met, and again, not bragging, but the people I've met are very good at this and they kill
Mhm.
every year, right? And I see that and I'm like, dang, dude, why can't I do that? And I think you get in this cycle where it's just like, you start really beating yourself up. I mean, it's not a good thing.
No, and
And
to add to that, so not only like you go through that season, it's just like, crap. Do it like you said, do I know what I'm doing? Can
yeah,
I do this? What am I doing wrong? I thought XYZ. But the added layer on top of that is you get back on social media and you got this person killed 200, this person's got a 180. This it's all you see.
yep,
If we could get away from that in a way, like I know it's hard. I am guilty. I'm very guilty of like, dang, I wish, I wish, I wish. But at the same time, it's if we can get away from that and not have to, I have to post a 180. Like I can't post anything.
yeah,
I was so happy to share my 108 inches, man. It's the biggest deer I've killed,
yeah,
but I didn't care because my goal was to kill a mature deer. And I think that's what the goal should be. People say that, but in reality, I don't think it is. But if we could get away from that and it's the whole consumerism, I got to have XYZ, best of the best of the bow. When in reality, it's like, hey, man, you can't even afford it, but you're going to go out
is
here
that a
and do
jab at
it.
me? I feel like that's a jab at
Huh?
me. Is
No,
that a jab? Are you sure?
no.
So you're not
I,
saying that because I just got the new Prime?
brother, if
Because
I could go out here and get a
I'm
RX-10 and
kidding. I'm
dialed
kidding.
and I absolutely would. I'm not saying I
Yeah,
wouldn't, but what I'm saying is just
I'm
like
just
I
joking.
think we would enjoy the hunt a lot
Yeah,
more.
I completely agree. I mean, I had a conversation with someone. It might have been Jordan, but it was somebody recently, and one of the things we talked about was like, what are you really out there for? Are you
Yeah,
out there to become the next Lee Ellis? Because I'll tell you, ain't nobody doing it more than he is. No one puts in the amount of effort. No one puts in the amount of work. No one's
no,
sacrificing as much as he is. I mean, that dude
it's
right there
insane.
is,
Generational. Like it's a
yes,
generational talent.
100%.
Like you used to talk about in sports. Like, oh, generational talent. That is one of our generational
Yeah. My
guys. Like he will
grandkids
go
will know
down.
about him. Like
Correct.
that dude is in my opinion, the epitome of what a whitetail hunter can really be,
Hmm.
right? But the problem with that is, like I said before, like that song verse I told you about, we all want the fame and fortune.
Hmm.
Well, not everyone's going to get that, right? And I think that social media is good in one sense that you can see the quality, you can see what people are doing, you can give people, props and whatnot. But then you start comparing yourself. It's the same problem with young girls these days that are depressed and suicidal because they want to, they want to look like the models and they just don't. And they
Yeah.
think that that's where their worth is at. And it's
No.
not. Your worth is in that book. That's where it's at, not on Instagram, you know?
Yep.
And that's a thing that I've been hammering home with my daughter is because she, you know, watches YouTube. She wants to be a YouTuber. And she comes to me because I put stuff on YouTube and she's like,
Mhm.
well, so and so's paper dragons are so much better. Can I get a glue gun? Can I do this? Can I start selling stuff? And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down. You're 10
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah.
Work on your art more. Put more time into this. Try different things because
Oh
you
yeah,
don't want to
craft.
follow what someone else has done. Right. And it's just crazy to see, which I'm happy that that's what she's dealing with and not like, oh, well, Kylie Jenner's got a new bag. Can I get a new bag? It's like, no, because that costs more than our house. But no. And I I guess where I'm going with this is that the mental health side of it can really be good because it can be a motivator. But I
Mhm.
don't think a lot of people feel that. I think a lot of people are like getting hard up, on themselves where they're like, dude, why can't I kill 200? You might not have a 200 where you're at. You might not even
You
have the
gotta have them to kill
experience.
them.
Yeah, like
100%. Like, you gotta have them.
exactly. And like
But
Jordan
that's
made a
not
great point
why
that
we're
you
there.
need to kill deer before you start hunting bigger bucks. Because I've seen a 160 on the hoof while I was in the stand. I didn't kill it. And I wouldn't have been able to kill it because it was my second year bow hunting. I had no clue what I was doing.
It's where I'm so nervous for next year because that one I sent you the video of, I haven't seen him on hoof. I've never seen him in the daylight.
Yeah.
He's been on the verge of daylighting all year, but he's a mature deer. He come in right at, I mean, right as it was, almost too dark to get a color picture. Um, so I've got him kind of figured out. That I think the deer I killed this year was one of the dominant bucks in the area
Yeah.
because I had a picture of the big one last year, like middle of November. Only had 3 pictures of him last year. I killed my deer October 28th. He came in at the same time,
Yeah.
right around the middle of November, but he stayed until January. So I'm like, oh
How
crap.
many tags do you guys get?
Uh,
Bucks?
1 buck tag. We're 1 buck state.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't go the CJ Alexander route.
No,
I would have
never.
thought of it.
Never
I
have I
would have
ever.
thought of it. It would have crossed my mind. I'll tell you that right now. Those intrusive thoughts would have been like, well, CJ got
I
away
mean,
with it for a while. I mean, if he didn't open his big mouth, maybe he still would have. Nah, I'm kidding, but
the dude was actually local to me. It's
CJ?
literally like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes from my house.
Bro, really?
Yeah.
You got giants
Yeah.
like that up there?
Oh, yeah, dude. They're
Damn,
everywhere.
son.
Ohio, what do you
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, no, there's no big bucks in
I
Ohio.
didn't realize. I mean, that's huge. No, I mean,
Yeah, that's a
that's huge.
dinosaur.
That's big, big.
That's
But
not
I
even
mean,
a
yeah, we
deer.
got some pretty big deer, man. I've seen some running around. There's a guy property actually right behind my house. There's 100 some acres, and I think there's been a 200 kill on it. I seen one last year going to work that was probably close to 200, the biggest deer I've ever seen, and I about destroyed it. I got a daily driver Honda. I drive back and forth to work,
Could
and
have.
he was the size of my car. I was like, "This is
It's
gonna
okay.
hurt."
You'll be fine. Have a little faith. You would survive it. You might hurt a little bit, but you
I mean, I would
that
have called the warden for sure. I would got a
yeah,
tag.
yeah.
He
You
would have
see a
been in
deer
the
like
he'd
that,
been
you
in the
you
crib.
cut that sucker right. I don't care what's going on.
But
Nah,
no,
dude.
man, it's
That's
good.
funny.
Like going back, let's get back on topic. We're going to rant, but I think if
ADD,
we
man.
can,
I'm telling you. I should
if
just
we
call us the
can,
ADD podcast.
it
That's what I'm
should
gonna
be.
do.
That's how what the HMD was too. Is the first hour and a half was an ADHD fever dream, dude.
I loved it though. I
I didn't know what
loved
was
it.
going on.
Some
I'm like, what?
stuff you and Starkey were saying, I was cracking up in the car. Oh my God.
But that's daily life, man.
Oh, dude.
Um,
Anyway.
trying to think if I got anything else. To be honest, dude.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What has your faith done for you as far as both pulling you out of the I guess the hole that you were in and coupled with when you have those deer seasons that are tough? Like how I'm trying to think of how to frame the question really. Like how has your faith gotten you through that?
So as far as like the mental health stuff, I don't. I've had instances where it's tried, but his work in me has been so strong and steady that like anymore, it's not even there. Like it'll cross my mind, but it's just like I know I have so much more worth, and he has so much more for me. But I also think that comes from being disciplined and reading the word and trying to be intentional about studying the word and doing all the right things. Now, if I
Yeah.
completely put my Bible in the cabinet, shut it, and never touch it again, within a year, I know where I'm going to be.
Yep.
Um, that's why you got to be disciplined. We got to be intentional, but he's got an answer for everything if we open the book. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what anybody's going through. You can find something somewhere that will help you, that will give you the answer to what you're going through. And as far as the deer seasons, I don't know if I can really relate too much just because, being my first year back on a vertical bow, I tagged out this year. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he hit me on the high. So he showed me like,
True.
here's what we're
True.
supposed to be doing. And I was years prior, I was already in such a low place. I wasn't really thinking about him really too much.
Yeah.
But now, if I want to look back on it, he kept me above water. And then I had a podcast to listen to today. It's called Unleashed. It's by Brent Henderson. I don't know if you've ever heard
Mhm.
it.
I feel
And
like
it's
I
the
have.
have you heard of it? Which
I
is
think
kind of
so.
funny, talking about Jesus and how he works in weird ways. Knowing I was going to do this podcast today, it kind of came on, but it's a water story. So he was actually on a fishing trip with his son and went to go across a creek and got caught in a whirlpool and it sucked him under. And the whirlpool was like 12 to 16 foot deep, I think is what he said. But when it sucked him under, he went all the way to the bottom and was able to come back up and actually had some people help get him out. And then he went on, I think, to write a book. I think he said about it and was talking to one of his buddies and was just like, what do you think of the story? And la 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 la. And the guy was just like, it was awesome. You know what I mean? You're here to talk about it, but I think you missed the whole point. He goes, what's that? He says, well, what if you didn't hit rock bottom? What if you only hit 4 feet, 8 feet? Well, where would you be? And he said, I'd be dead. He said, exactly. And I think Jesus works in the same way. When you're struggling, he will allow you to hit rock bottom, but that's only because he's going to bring you back to the top. And he knows what he's got set for you. Because, I mean, Jeremiah 29:11, man, that's my verse. And I know, he knows what he's got set. And I live by that every day because I hit rock bottom. He pulled me back up. And then now I see what he's got set for my life, man. And it's been an awesome ride. And I am forever grateful that I made the decision to give my life to Jesus and really try to become a better father. It's what it's helped me become a better father, a better friend, better mentor. But I mean, better husband. I mean, all around,
Yeah.
it's changed my life. So
Yeah, it's crazy what he'll do. And like I've thought about the question, if God's so loving, why does all this bad stuff happen? And my answer to that, because people have asked me that before, and I'm like, do it's kind of the Job story, right? Like,
yep.
were you there when the universe was made? Were you there when, did you set all the stars in place? Do you
Mm-hmm.
know every single star that's in the universe? No, you don't.
No.
And his ways are not your ways, and his thoughts are not
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts. Something terrible to you might be something great that he has working. That yes, that one moment was really, really rough, but he got
Mm-hmm.
you through it. You have that experience now, and now you're going to go and do something way better, and maybe something related to whatever that situation was.
Yep.
And it's just it's I guess to sort of round up like the mental health side of things and what we went through, and our stories are similar. They're very different in other ways too, but looking back at it, it's like I can see the handiwork. I can
Yep.
see like why my dad did what he did. I can see
Yep.
why, I struggled with a certain addiction for the longest time, and like what that what that turns into now. And like I said before,
Mm-hmm.
we might be saved, we might have a relationship with Christ. That doesn't mean that life's going to be, all sunshine and rainbows, right?
No.
We
This means we got.
still struggle. I
Yep.
personally still struggle with stuff that I wish I pray every single day. Lord, take this from me. Why is this constantly here? Why am I still
Bro,
falling to the same thing every
I
now and
fall
again?
on my face every day.
Yeah, dude. And it's like people think that as a Christian, you're supposed to be this perfect, sinless,
We can't.
whatever. It
We
even
have free
says in
will. It's
there.
impossible.
Exactly. And it even says, I think it was First John. I just listened to it yesterday where he's like, you know, anybody who claims to not have sin is a fool. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to willingly go do it and be like, oh, well, hey, your grace is sufficient. That's what you told Paul. So I'm just going to do whatever I want to do and we're cool, right? Like, no, you
Yeah.
can't do that. But
I mean, well, you could.
I mean,
You're going to
okay,
be
you
cool in
can,
the
you
end.
can, you
If you come
can.
around to it, you are going to be cool, but like you got to come around to it.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what
And
I'm
like,
saying?
I just don't, the one thing I always try to make sure people understand whenever I talk about this is like, he didn't die on the cross, so we have a license to sin, right? Like he didn't die on the cross so we can just live our lives however we want and then not know him. I mean, that's why he
Mm-hmm.
literally said, "Depart from me, I never knew you." Right? He's going to say that to a lot of people, and it terrifies the crap out of me. Should scare
That's
the
very
crap out of
scary.
every
Very
single
scary to me too.
Christian, every single person. But again, that opens the door for, the devil's lies where it's like, do I do enough? And am I this? My question, because my daughter and I talked about this.
Well, it's not about how much you do though.
Exactly. Exactly. So like she asked me because she's been
You
trying, like
can't
she wants
earn
to
your way
know
to
him.
heaven.
Exactly. And she thought you needed to. And so we're talking about this because she wants to get baptized. And I said, let me just ask you a simple question. Do you believe he died on the cross? Yes. Do you think that he died on the cross for all of our sins, saving everybody who has faith in him? Yes. Okay. Do you put your faith in him? She said yes. I go, okay. You already have everything you need.
Hmm.
All you have to do now is surrender to him and let him work in your life. Don't fight it. You're going to struggle. You're going to have tough times. It's going to happen. I was like, but if you're willing to do this, if you're making this decision, understand that no matter what you go through, no matter how hard it gets, at the end of the day, you still have him, and that's all
Hmm.
that you need. And she was like, okay. And that was it. So, she's again 10 years old, so she doesn't
Yeah,
understand struggle yet, but I think people really misunderstand the whole message, like
they
we
do, and I think the problem with that is, again, it's just like this modern world we live in, um, and then there's a bunch of feel good churches,
yeah,
and
they
like you
want the
touched on
soft
earlier,
Jesus.
yeah,
That's what they
exactly. It
want.
wouldn't make you feel good, collect your money, and get gone, and that's the sad reality of it. And like you said, you struggled to find somebody that preached the gospel, and I'm very thankful that our church does as well. Like our Pastor Tyler is absolutely amazing, and he's going to tell you what the book says, and
Yeah.
that's how it's going to be. And it's awesome. And I think that's where it went wrong. And everybody
Yeah.
gets a bad taste. They have that bad taste from one church that wasn't so well, and then they throw in the towel instead of trying to either find a different church or let's go do it ourselves. Nothing really says that you have to go to church. You can sit at home and read your Bible and create your own relationship. And that's my other thing too, is like I have a relationship with Jesus. I don't really like the word religion. I
Yeah.
think that gets thrown around a lot. And that's kind of how, if I got, buddies or whatever that ask, and that's how I portray it. It's just like, it's just between me and him.
Yeah.
And that's yours to do. Like, you can make your relationship with him how you want it. But like, in the end, that's all that matters, is that, you have your relationship with Jesus, and hone in on it and go as hard as you can. And it's okay. Like, don't be afraid what others will think about you.
Yeah.
Don't be
Well,
afraid
and
of anything. Like,
it's
it's his
funny you say
opinion.
that
That's what
because
matters.
like the thing I've noticed is when you have that relationship, you want to find a church or a group or something. Like you want to find the place that you can be with people that
Mhm.
are doing the same thing you're doing, right? And because my wife and I both, I mean, I grew up Catholic, so like leaving that, not really leaving that, but like moving from Illinois, where my whole family was, we went to the Catholic church and then moved down here to Georgia. I was 6 years old. We didn't go to church. I had no relationship with him at all. And then there's a couple things I can tell you off of here that, happened that I should have not been so
Yeah.
stubborn, but I was. And then
I
one
love
day
looking
I
back
just
on that stuff, though.
knew what?
I love looking back on that stuff, though.
Oh, dude, I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, man, Jesus, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
I didn't.
brother.
Yeah, like,
You can give me
sorry, I'm so hard-headed.
yeah, thanks for giving me a pass on that,
Yeah,
dude.
right. Thanks for being there.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there came a time where I started seeing some stuff and really seeing what the world was turning into back in like 20, I think it was 22. And I made the decision like, hey, I need to give my life to him, right?
Mhm.
And I went down the same road where I'm like, okay, well, I don't need to go to a church. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. And as I got closer to him, I started realizing more and more, it's like I might feel that way, but I need to be around the people I'm going to be around when my life is over.
Minded people, man.
Exactly. So it's crazy, dude. Like I said, the way he works, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I mean, there's so many stories I could tell you, ranging
Oh,
from
like, we could
cars.
go on forever. It's just, I got my little reminders here. I got the old 41.
Yep.
You
I've
know the
got
meaning
the
behind all that, right?
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
I can't turn it.
I got
Oh
you. And
God.
then you got the cross
Yeah.
there,
Yep.
and then the broken chains, brother.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love that.
So, thanks,
That's
man.
awesome. Well, look, man, I don't want to hold you too long. But
Brother, you're good.
this episode was a really good one. And I feel like we could have kept going on so many more things.
We'll just have to do it again. That's all that
Oh
means. We'll
yeah,
have to do it
yeah,
again. That's
yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, dude, I don't even really know how to round it off. I
what
guess
I'll
just
round it off for you.
yeah, yeah. Take the reins. Take the reins.
You ready for turkey season? You excited for
Nope,
that?
not at
No?
all. Not ready
All
at
right,
all.
me neither.
I need a ground blind. I need turkey heads. I need
What do
arrows
you
that I
round
can
one
shoot the
for?
turkey. It's what this is what Jordan told me. Okay,
Nature's
I'm just
provided. God provided trees.
oh,
Sit
hey,
behind me.
that's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do. But Jordan's like, man, if you're hunting with a bow, you need to get in a ground blind and you need to just stay still. And I'm
Make
like,
it make
okay,
one.
that's true.
I
Well,
mean,
see, I
it's hard.
had one.
If you're running and gunning, it's hard, but
Well, I mean, I've got 11 acres to work with, so it's
if you
not
can
really.
pinpoint them where they're roosting, dude, and be able to
Yeah. Well, I got to
get in
find out where they're
early. I
roosting.
mean, obviously they're not going to change too much. I don't think. Get in there early and just kind of throw something up to break you up, dude, and
Yeah. Well,
sit
the,
at
the
your
good
first
thing
year.
is
Zero
like
expectations.
the spot that I have that I'm gonna go turkey hunt does have some thick stuff. We haven't started greening up yet.
Hmm.
And our season starts next Saturday. So I'm gonna try. I don't know if I'm going next Saturday, but I'm definitely gonna try. And the beauty of it is I feel no pressure because I don't know what I'm
It's
doing.
zero expectation. That's where I'm at with
Yeah.
it. I'm just gonna go. I feel like that 10-year-old is going hunting, deer hunting for the first time. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm excited.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun. I gotta like I said, I gotta get arrows. I've got the bow set up. I'm going to sight it in this Saturday. Um,
Better man than I, because I'm gonna go blow one's head off.
yeah, well, I made not a vow, I shouldn't say that, but I basically made a commitment that unless I absolutely have to use a gun, I'm always
Good
gonna
on
go hunt
you.
with a bow.
Stick to it, man.
So
Stick to it.
I want it to be hard. Because the thing is, I've got like this weird, I say this jokingly, really, but I have this weird thing where turkeys follow me. I've been chased by them. I've gotten into almost fights with them at the zoo. They have a problem with me. I don't know what it
Mhm.
is. And there's a spot on public land that I always go scout, and every time I come across a whole flock of turkeys, I go on this other private land spot that I have. I hear them, see them on camera. So I could go out there and just smoke a turkey first sit and be like, man, this ain't that hard. And then there's the arrogance again. But
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, it's gonna be fun,
That's
man. But
good.
look, seriously,
Appreciate you.
Dustin, thank you for coming on, man. This is
No,
definitely something we had to talk about. And dude,
my
I
pleasure, man.
just you gave me a lot to think about.
Think on it.
You
It's
really
all
did.
good, right? All good, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah. Good
right.
stuff. Good stuff. Just, you know, kind of like an outside perspective, I guess.
Yep.
Thinking
And
about
then
like, maybe not getting so caught up in some things. Getting away.
no,
But,
and then I'm gonna give you a little love too on your intros, man. Keep doing them. There's
oh,
been a few where I can tell you're like, am I annoying everybody? Don't
well,
do it. You got it. It's your roll with
it
it. It's good.
yeah, it's not so much. Are you talking about the end of it when I bring Jesus up, or are you talking
Yeah,
about like yeah,
yeah,
so that I do unapologetically. It's
good.
everything else that I've had other
Good.
people hit me up and they're like, "Man, these intros are kind of long." And I'm like, "You know what? Skip it. If
You
you
can
get
hit 15,
yeah,
15,
like
15. All right, we're good.
yeah,
Like,
I'm sorry it's 15 minutes. Like today's was long. So
hey,
it is what it is, but I do appreciate it. I have had quite a few people reach out and be like, "Dude,
I enjoy it.
I love the fact you're doing this. Keep going, keep doing it." It's
Mhm.
like that's the plan. That's the whole reason I'm even doing this still.
Yep.
There's been plenty of times I've wanted to just be like, "Man, I don't feel like doing it anymore." Staying in this consistent for almost going on 4 years, it's been hard.
Hmm.
But if I can take 15 seconds and preach Jesus, I'll do it. And
Every
then
time.
we'll talk hunting.
Every
But
time. Let me
oh
plug
man,
my Instagram if you don't mind, because if
yeah,
anybody
yeah, yeah. Give me a
listens,
shameless plug.
yeah, the D_D period Cole, and that's going to be Cole, and that's my Instagram, and then Facebook's Dustin Cole. Just add me, and if any of you guys have any questions, need help, reach out. You want to talk Jesus? I'll give you what I know. I'm not no Bible scholar by any means, but I'll give you true, real life advice from somebody that's went through it. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate you for having me on, man, and let's do it again.
Sounds like a plan, brother.
Be good, brother.